Good morning, everyone, and a very, very happy Monday morning to you all. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Big topic today, big topic today about dealing with regret. And I would say that the majority of the time when I start working with people, it is about trying to clear, whether it's the regret of action or inaction from their past. And it's a big issue. You know, it's a really big issue. So there are a lot of different facets to regret. Lots of them. Lots of different aspects. Last week we talked about forgiveness. I think it was last week or the week before, I can't remember. We talked about forgiveness. And I guess regret sits in that. Once you can process through regret, then you can come to a state of forgiveness. Well, that's what I think anyway. So I want to share with you a story that happened on Saturday night. I was speaking to a lovely, lovely young woman, and she came to me, which was just gorgeous, really, and said, I really need to talk. I'm having trouble dealing with something. And we sat down and we chatted, and she told me that she had just recently been told some quite tragic news about someone that she used to be in contact with. And as we talked through it, there was a real degree of discomfort around the whole thing. As we spoke more and more, she came to, we came to the conclusion that the high doors, the reason for her, in this instance, her inaction, was that she was trying to protect her daughter. But in talking to her, there was something more. There was something more. And we talked around the issue quite a bit. And what it actually came down to is that she regretted not contacting this other woman prior to this tragedy having occurred. And that's understandable. You always want to be, as humans, as people, we always want to think that we're doing the right thing or we're doing the best thing for our lives at the time. And then something happens and you go, wow, maybe I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You have a lot of memes that sort of are based around the whole shoulda, coulda, woulda idea, which is regret, basically. When we got to the core of why she hadn't contacted this other person, it was because she was ready to move on with her life and she was ready to leave her past behind. And, that's a huge step. That's a huge step to realize that to move forward, you really have to effectively let go of the past. And you have to do that in such a way that it doesn't come back to bite you on the bum, because if you don't do it properly, it will. So when I asked her to talk about this a little bit more, and we spoke about the fact that she was ready to move into the next phase of her life, and we started talking about, well, how do you leave regret behind? It was about acknowledging the events, the people, the situations that occurred. And, here's the thing, if you feel that you have to make an apology for something in your past, then do it. You do it. But you only do it once. And you do it from a heartfelt perspective. Words along the lines of, couldn't have done it without you. It really means a lot to me. Acknowledge what you've been through, who's helped you, potentially who's hindered you, and look at all of that. Look at all of that and then stand in the now. Stand in the now. The more you regret, the more you continually apologize for your past, the more you tie yourself to it. You can't move forward if you are tethered to the past. So acknowledge it. Allow it, whatever it might be, the respect that it deserves, and then move forward. And when I talk about standing in the now, hang on, let me backtrack. One of the biggest aspects of dealing with regret is understanding what your driver was for the inaction or the inaction. Similar to what we talked about with forgiveness. If you can look inside yourself and ask yourself, why did I do that? Or why did I not do that? And if you can come up with an answer for what was driving your behavior or inactivity, and you can embrace that and acknowledge that aspect of it, then two things happen. You get to understand yourself better, and you get to understand your past better. You get to understand why you did certain things or you didn't do certain things, and you become empowered with that knowledge. You gain a respect for yourself in understanding that there was a reason. So one of my favorite sayings of all time for many, many, many years was, there's no excuses, but there's 1,000 different reasons. And if you can tap into those reasons and acknowledge them for yourself and start seeing who you are, getting to know yourself basically is what I'm talking about, then you can stand in the now. And then you can say, I'm ready for the next phase of my life. I'm ready for the next phase of this adventure. If you say these statements, so try saying for yourself, I wish I had, or I wish I hadn't, versus I'm ready for the next phase of how I'm going to develop. You know, just saying that phrase for yourself is empowering. Just acknowledging for yourself that you are ready to grow, that you're ready to move beyond what's tied you back up until this point in your life. I get internal goosebumps when I say things like that because, you know, it's at the core of everything is understanding who you are and what drives you. And if you can start down that path, you will heal. And it's magical. It's magical. I won't get too airy-fairy on that, but it is magical. So, be radically honest with yourself about your past. Be radically honest with your action or inaction and what was driving it. Try and do that without the emotional fog. Very difficult, very difficult. But if you can attempt that, I think you'll get some really, really, really awesome results. And then, once you understand the drivers, once you understand why you did something, why you didn't do something, regret has no power. Regret has no power. So I want to leave you guys with that thought. You can live a life where regret doesn't hold any power. It's so freeing. Give it a go. As I always say, give it a go. Give it a go. And if you're struggling, again, as I always say, you know that you can reach out to me. You can book some time for a breakthrough call. I just want to reiterate, there is no charge for the breakthrough call, okay? The discovery call is a different thing altogether. It's a healing session. The breakthrough call is about looking at where you are and where you want to be and if I can help you get there. So have a fabulous Monday. I hope I've given you guys something to think about. You know, you don't have to regret your past. You don't have to regret your actions. You just have to understand them. And the moment that you do that, you will feel the chains start to break. And you can move forward. Unfettered. God, I love that idea. Have a fabulous day, everyone. Sending you all this much love. So much love. Just so much love. Have a fabulous day. Bye.